Good evening, everyone. My name is Tejas, and I'm in the 8th grade at Sager Middle School.
Hi, I'm Lena, and I'm a sophomore at STEAM Academy at McClure South Berkeley.
We are honored to be here tonight to introduce a true trailblazer whose career reflects the very spirit of innovation, leadership, and community impact that this Hall of Fame represents.
Jerry Kent's journey began right here in the Midwest, where he started as a CPA before taking bold steps into the world of telecommunications. As a co-founder and leader of Charter Communications, Jerry has helped transform it into one of the largest cable companies in the country, serving millions of customers and setting industry standards for excellence.
But Jerry's story isn't just about business success. His entrepreneurial drive led him to build multiple companies, always with a focus on innovation and customer service. He has received numerous accolades from Executive of the Year to induction into Broadcasting and Cable Hall of Fame.
Beyond his professional achievements, Jerry Kent is deeply committed to giving back in areas of education, the arts, and community development.
Jerry's legacy is a perfect reflection of Junior Achievement's mission to inspire and prepare young people to succeed. Junior Achievement empowers students with the skills, confidence, and entrepreneurial spirit needed to thrive, qualities that Jerry Kent has demonstrated throughout his remarkable career.
Tonight, as we celebrate Mr. Kent's induction into the Junior Achievement Business Hall of Fame, we also celebrate the values he embodies: leadership, innovation, and a commitment to empowering the next generation. He is living proof that with vision, determination, and a willingness to give back, we can all help make a brighter future. Please join us in welcoming to the stage Junior Achievement Business Hall of Fame inductee and true champion of Junior Achievement's mission, Mr. Kent.
Would Ms. Jacob and Mr. Kruszewski please join us on stage for a group photo?
Oh, we did witness these very impressive students, huh?
Congratulations, Mr. Kent.
And now a few words from Mr. Kent.
Well, I have to say, how impressive are these students, huh? It's really, really good. If anyone is worried about the future for our youth, come to Junior Achievement. I think you'll be impressed. We're going to be in really, really good hands. Ron Kruszewski. Ron. Or I like to call him Pac-Man because he's done such a great job just doing acquisitions all the time and making Stiefel a powerhouse in financial services. But I'm getting a little worried. I think you're losing it as you're getting older. You said you beat me in golf every time. If you recall the last tournament we played in at Pebble Beach, I not only beat your pants off, I won the whole darn thing. So I think you need to stop doing some of those acquisitions and work on your golf game. You're going to need your A-plus game to take my crown away. Okay, money for nothing. Yes, money for nothing. That's not my business philosophy, but it is a song by the band Dire Straits. You may recognize it better by the words in the song. I want my MTV. Every time I hear this song, it reminds me of one of the biggest challenges I faced in my business career. But let's talk more about that shortly. First, let me congratulate Bob Brinkman and Brinkman Constructors on their recognition tonight. I know Bob, he's a world-class individual, and it's really a well-deserved honor. I also want to thank Junior Achievement for my recognition. I actually volunteered for JA early on in my career, and I really admire its growing impact on today's youth. In particular, Junior Achievement of Greater St. Louis, number 4, is one of the most successful chapters in the U.S., and I congratulate their terrific leadership. Now, I know this is a time for me to give a few words of wisdom and advice for our future leaders, and I will, but tonight I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to tell a story that ties together some of the key principles I discussed in the video. And so let's rewind the clock. 11 years ago, it's 2014. At that time, I was CEO of Suddenlink, one of the nation's largest cable companies. We serve mostly secondary markets like St. Joseph, Missouri, Lubbock, Texas, and Charleston, West Virginia. And in these markets, though, we offered customers a world-class bundle of TV, internet, and phone, including a 1 gigabit broadband service, a speed that frankly wasn't yet available in most of the largest metro markets at the time. Well, in 2014, we had a really contentious negotiation with a large media company called Viacom. We were trying to renew a contract that would preserve our right to carry about 24 Viacom-owned TV channels, and these included some of the most popular channels at the time, like Nickelodeon, Comedy Central, and yes, MTV. This was before streaming, when nearly 90% of US homes got video from pay TV bundles. Now, important to this story is the fact that 3 years earlier, in 2011, we were just hammered by a huge increase in programming fees from Viacom because, frankly, we weren't ready to fight them. But at the time, I told myself, that's never going to happen again. And while Viacom had well-established brands, frankly, their ratings were in decline. In some cases, ratings had dropped about 30% over 3 years. In addition, we knew in looking at our demographics, they weren't a good match for Viacom's target audience. But Viacom still wanted a 20% increase in the price that we paid our customers, we paid them for these channels. And we just weren't willing to do that. So we began preparing for a worst-case scenario. We'd be ready to fight this unwarranted increase. Now, keep in mind, no cable company had ever permanently removed all the channels of a major programmer. So this was a pretty darn risky move. At the start of 2014, we brought in a new head of programming. And on her first day, I sat down with her and I told her that she needed to be ready to drop the Viacom channels when the contract expired later that year. I'll never forget the expression on her face when she said, "You're gonna do what? You can't do that." But I assured her that, you know what? Indeed, if we were forced to do it, we would drop them and we'd be prepared. So we also started entering into discussions for potential replacement channels, just in case. We also had to have satellite transponders ready to capture the new signals, equipment to transmit the new programming, channel guides to adjust, new contracts in place ready to sign, a lot to do in case we wanted to pull the trigger. As negotiations continued, I engaged directly with the CEO of Viacom, but we remained far apart. Viacom's CEO, he was just convinced that we weren't serious about dropping the channels permanently. After all, it had never been done. Finally, as the Viacom contract approached its end, we decided to drop their channels and go forward to execute our new plan. And when I told the Viacom CEO we were dropping his channels, he said to me, he's going to make this decision as painful as possible. He couldn't let this be a new paradigm shift. And I'll never forget his last words as we were hanging up. He said, "You're going to lose a lot of customers." Well, the next several months were pressure-packed and excruciating. Viacom came at us with both barrels blazing with, some of the most bizarre and questionable tactics. To give you an idea how tough it really was, up until this incident, I actually had dark hair. But some of their tactics included sending mobile billboards and teams of people dressed up as Viacom characters like SpongeBob SquarePants and Dora the Explorer into our markets for city events. They had airplanes with streamers going over major sporting events, all with misleading information about Suddenlink. The one tactic that really burned me, Viacom actually blocked our internet customers from accessing Viacom websites, but they displayed a message that said, Suddenlink is blocking access to this website. Well, a court battle would have taken too long. So what did I do? I contacted one of our US senators from Missouri and I asked for her help. She called the Viacom CEO and told him she didn't want to get into the middle of a business dispute, but if this misrepresentation was true and continued, she was going to have him testify in Congress. By the way, the message was taken down that same day. So we won that battle, but how are we doing in the war? Well, for the first 6 weeks, we saw a steady decline in video customers. We're adding customers through our world-class broadband and phone offerings, but the loss in video customers continued. And it really worried me. In fact, at one point, I even thought, I'm going down as the CEO who made the worst decision in cable history. Then, all of a sudden, the video losses stopped and our loyal customer base stayed with us. By the time we reported fourth quarter results, the total customer count had actually increased. We saved our company nearly $100 million and we avoided passing the Viacom price increases through to our customers. Now, you may be wondering, how in the heck did we pull that off? Well, the answer lies in what you heard me discuss in the video. Most importantly, long before we dropped and replaced the Viacom channels, we've been laser focused on providing a superior level of customer care. I was fortunate enough to be in a meeting with Steve Jobs years ago, and I adopted his philosophy that every employee is in the customer service department. So our customer care went beyond industry-leading broadband speeds. For example, we developed workforce management technologies that decreased windshield time for our techs and increased the time they could spend helping each customer. Here's something you'll like. We enabled our customers to go online and track their technician. So they didn't have to wait at home for a tech to arrive. Instead, we provided email and text alerts when our techs were 20 minutes out, so our customers could run errands or stay at work until they needed to return home. We also included a picture of the technician for security purposes. After all, they're coming into your home. We introduced a service called Suddenlink to Go. It allowed customers to take their in-home viewing experience with them on the road so they could watch what they wanted on any mobile device. Now, sure, today these services are commonplace in the age of streaming, but back in 2014, our enhancements were absolutely cutting edge. All told, these and other investments in customer service helped us weather the Viacom storm, and yeah, we lost a few TV customers, but not as many as Viacom wanted. And like I said earlier, we actually gained customer households after dropping the Viacom channels. Of course, I had a fantastic management team with a culture of teamwork and success that executed the plan flawlessly. Although, like I said earlier, it was at the cost of a few gray hairs. Oh yeah, there was one other cost. While it wasn't entirely due to Suddenlink, not long after this episode ended, the CEO of Viacom was terminated from his company. He didn't appreciate the concept of customer service, and it really cost him his job. So money for nothing. I want my MTV. Whenever you hear that song, maybe, just maybe, you'll think of me and the impact of customer service. I know it kind of seems like an oxymoron for a cable guy to talk about customer service, but it is the key to business success. And I said on the video, business can be very complicated, but as I tell our team, you take better care of the customer and you win. Unconventional and entrepreneurial moves are possible as long as the customer is on your side. Now, I'm also very fortunate to have had the unwavering support of the love of my life, my wife, Judy. Our children here, Matthew and Rachel, and their spouses. And we have a number of friends and fellow workers who've joined us tonight, and I want to thank all of them. I also want to thank, once again, the leadership team at Junior Achievement for inducting me into their Hall of Fame. Thank you.